Welcome to the Dan Hazlett Variety Hour once again for our season finale, our final show. And we have the distinct honor and pleasure to have a guest, our star from afar, Robin Lee Garber, all the way from Chicago. We'll be having her on just a little bit later in the show, so stick around for that. It's going to be a treat. So, we've been on for 9 shows, 9 hours of original material, mostly not repeating any songs. And it's been songs from my early days, songs from my more recent times, songs I may still include in my show, songs I've recorded in years past, songs on upcoming albums, songs from my 2 upcoming CDs that are not yet released, songs from both of my musicals that I've written. Today, our theme is What's New? These are songs you probably are not aware of yet, even if you've listened to me in the past, because some of them have just been written, some of them are very new within the last year or so. And I think it's an appropriate theme because as a culture, as a people, as a species, we're kind of taking a beat right now. We're all thinking about what's next. I wonder what's next. You know, what's next for me, but what's next for us? This is our moment, really, to stop and think about things. This is our moment, you know, to take a new approach, to reboot our culture, maybe work together to create something new and more beautiful. Blows up angry and rattles your door when you're caught in the chill of the rain. On the lookout for hope in your shadow of doubt, staring out at the problem of pain. In spite of the sorrow, in spite of the fear, in the wink of an eye, edge of a tear, in those moments unlooked for that somehow appear, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised by joy, by the offer of friendship, a smile in a crowd, word of encouragement spoken out loud, by the gift of forgiveness, a grudge that now ends, confident, sure to be kept among friends, an old story forgotten, remembered again. Surprise, 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 you can still be surprised by joy. You're down in the trenches, the mortar rounds hit. No one can count up the cost, and there's no consolation a doctor can give when the one that you love most is lost. In spite of the sorrow, in spite of the fear, in the wink of an eye, on the edge of a tear, in those moments unlooked for that somehow appear, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised by joy, by a treasure believed to be lost long ago, the way that a blossom is breaking through snow, by the message of healing your family sends, view that unfolds where the last pavement ends, finding out those who wronged you are making amends. Surprise, 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 you can still be surprised by joy, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised, you can still be surprised by joy, you can still be surprised, you can still be Why, thanks. Why, thanks. You know, it's interesting that in our culture right now, in our world, we have so much technology, the ability to reach out and communicate in so many different ways so quickly, almost instantly. And yet, we seem to have trouble communicating with one another. You know, everybody's talking, everybody's yelling, nobody's really listening. Maybe it's time we step back and listen to one another, thought about what we have to say to one another. Maybe it's time we learn how to trust each other again. Send out letters across the ocean wide at the whimsy of the western wind, at the mercy of the tide. The changing of the maples would mark the weeks gone by. Now things move so much faster, like the blinking of an eye. Messages they travel as quickly as the light. You're only a heartbeat away, trying to unravel the truth behind your words. It's like 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles of delay. That's one more time around the world, and living in a can't slow down and no one's listening swirl. One more time around the sun, till all of this meaningless fussing and fighting rolls into one more day. One more time. One more time. Hints bouncing off a satellite go straight into my ear. Secrets that you whisper never seem to come out clear. You're writing from a distance in an instant on my screen. I recognize the language, but I can't tell what you mean. Fires in the desert, a plague out on the wind. Better take care what you say. Truth and lies are measured by every breath you take. It's like 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles, 10,000 miles of delay. One more time around the world, been living in a can't slow down, no one's listening swirl. One more time around the sun, till all of this meaningless fussing and fighting turns into one more day. One more time. One more time. We used to send out letters. Why, thank you. So, last week we had the Dan Hazlett Trivia Contest, and the question was, what's the song I wrote about the time when my childhood home blew up? And this is after I was living there, by the way. And the answer, of course, is she will have a home. But now we have a new Dan Hazlett trivia question, the final Dan Hazlett trivia question. And here's my beautiful wife, Margaret, to give it to you.
What guitar accoutrement does Dan use to the nth degree?
So, I've come to really love Latin music. And it's very intricate polyrhythms. It's so beautiful. And, of course, I don't understand it at all. I don't know how to create it, but I wish I did. And every different kind of Latin groove has a name, and they have very specific rules about what makes it a rumba, a tango, a cha-cha-cha, If I wanted to write a samba, I wouldn't really know how to write a samba. But if I were going to write a samba without knowing what a samba is, it would go like this. The secrets of youth are simple and sweet. A line in a journal, small purloined treat, a ford in the woods, stolen library book. The way life can turn on a dime or a look. Look here, look there, look under every rock in the neighborhood. Look to the east where the moon was meant to hang, where the sun is reputed to rise. If you can believe your eyes, look here, look here. You can search behind the shadows, trek beyond the stars, where wisdom waits more ancient than the sky. You can sift through arcane folklore, chase gurus with guitars, when what you seek is right before your eyes. Look here, look here. The secrets of age are bitter and strong, like dark roasted coffee, nostalgia of song. We are bound to an oath as tangled as twine, sworn to a secret as tart as red wine. Look here, look there, look under every rock in the underbrush. Look to the east where the moon is meant to hang, where the sun is reputed to rise. If you can believe your eyes, look here, look there, look under every rock in your rocking chair. Look to the east where the moon is meant to hang, where the sun is reputed to rise. If you can believe your eyes, look here, look here, look here. So enough time out for lighthearted frivolity and uplifting songs. It's time we change the mood entirely, and so I think what's called for here is a good old-fashioned murder ballad, because everybody loves a murder ballad. The producer over there is giving me the thumbs up like she likes them. Let's start at the beginning, then see where this goes. Don't be moving sudden, duck down and grab your toes. no one move a muscle. I might just be coming back. I've always been the kind of man nobody ever saw. Never made my presence felt. Never thought I'd cross the law. When I saw Miss Maribel, that's when all my fortunes changed. Oh, I forgot the words right here. Oh, something snapped inside my head. That's it, I must have gone insane. Would a sane man have done this? That's what you have to ask. No one in this whistle stop thought I'd be up to the task. Now everybody's talking, though I warned them not to tell. Here's the true unvarnished story of me and Maribel. Maribel in her red dress goes in walking, checking out the place. I keep the motor running, pull a scarf across my face. I walk up to the bank guard, stick a pistol in his wrist. That's when everybody pees their pants. Man, they're scared out of their wits. When that fool stood up to me, that's the day I lost control. I swear it wasn't in the plan to ever take a soul. But it turned out just like Maribel said. She said, just you wait and see. Now every kid in Jackson Hole is a wishing they were me. She'll probably go to Canada. Don't go looking for her there. She won't be wearing that red dress no more. She'll change the color of her hair. My Maribel's too smart for you. She was way too smart for me. Left me here to face the tune, and now she's running free. They got the death row in Wyoming. I hope they make it quick. Tell the judge there's something wrong with me. I'm psychologically sick. I see us in my dreams up there in Saskatchewan. My Maribel and me, still free and on the run. start at the beginning, then see where this goes. Don't be moving sudden, duck down, grab your toes. Open up the cash drawers, put it all into the sack. No one will listen, I just might be coming back. Thank you very much. So it is that special time of every show when we welcome our star from afar, our guest star. Today our star from afar, dear friend of mine, beautiful, talented songwriter from Chicago, Robin Lee Garber. Hi, Robin Lee.
Hi, Dan. Thank you so much for having me this evening. I'm really excited to be here.
So, Robin Lee, what song have you brought for us today?
The first song is called Be the Change, and it goes like this. I brought a knife to a gunfight. I thought that justice would prevail. I thought they'd recognize a phony and that the system wouldn't fail. Maybe all that's good will come together and the road will find its own way home. But I don't want to sit here waiting for others to fix what went so wrong. Be the change I want to see. Let the mirror reflect who I want to be. Not a different, but a better kind of me. What's wrong with sensible compassion? What's it gonna take to inspire? What are the answers to these questions? Is this the way to fight fire with fire? Maybe we don't have to think the same way. See our vulnerability as strength. Celebrate our love for life and freedom, 'cause we're not broken, no, just bent. Be the change I want to see. Let the mirror reflect who I want to be. Oh, not a different, but a better kind
Yay! Just beautiful, Robin Lee. Now, you spent many years working as a creative arts therapist, which is a wonderful job to be able to do and to be good at, and you are good at it. And I'm just interested in how that work has impacted your songwriting, your performance skills, your whole music approach to music.
I would say being a creative arts therapist is probably one of the smartest things I ever did. As a young person in my 20s, I was working for a number of years out of undergrad as just a commercial artist, making objects and painting, drawing, blowing glass, different things like that, and writing songs occasionally. But until I started doing creative arts therapy work, I really feel like I had a very one-dimensional view of things. Just, my own life experience expanded so much more in working with people from different backgrounds and populations. And now when I write, I really try and create songs that have a universal appeal, that can reach across generations, that can reach across, all kinds of barriers. And I don't think I would have that perspective if I didn't do what I did for a living. And I'm very grateful for it.
I understand you also have a background in theater, and I'm wondering how that has influenced your work as an artist.
I mostly did theater when I was in high school and younger. By the time I got to college, I was more interested in performance art. I was interested in scenery and the technical backstage type things, props, sets, backdrops, and I worked for a few years doing murals and stage painting and things like that, which I found really, really fascinating and really, really hard physically to do. As far as my music theater background, my theater background, performance-wise, I would say, when I am singing a song, whatever it's about, I feel like there needs to be some kind of drama or performance or dynamics, something to that effect. I think a lot about Frank Sinatra. My dad used to tell me, Frank would, before he would even hear the music, he would read the lyrics first and try and understand, what the song was about. And I agree with that. I think that when you're performing a song, you are telling a story, however you want to tell it. And I think it's good to think about who's singing the song to whom, and dynamics of your voice, texture of your voice, how you relate to your instrument. It's all important stuff to consider when you're performing, especially your own original music. You have that freedom. So that's what I think about theater and songwriting.
So Robin Lee, can you sing us another song, please?
So this next song I want to do for you is something I wrote a few years ago. I was going through some changes, and I decided to write a song and cheer myself up. So I made up this imaginary character called Coraline. And in my mind, this was a person who had been through some things and had come through on the other side, not just being okay, but even better. So the name of this song is called Coraline. It goes like this. Coraline, you're an expert at life and disaster. You believe that what's happy comes after all the tears, love, and work for your dreams. You will combine them so that all will be fine then, just like Coraline, just like for you, Coraline, and all the fragile things mistakes that I made when things fell apart would I see down the line that the sun would still shine, just like Coraline, just like for you, Coraline, and all the fragile things you keep close to your heart in the past. To hide them's no good to you now, only the brave will last. But look to the stars and they'll show you how to rise from the ash. Yeah, rise up and start singing, rise up and keep singing now. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, oh, rise up. Coraline, it's been a few years since we last spoke, when all that I had was fear and hope. I know hope's not a strategy. Oh, but I survived a life ill-contrived. Yeah, I grew and I thrived, leaning into my own gravity. Oh, and all the fragile things you keep close to your heart in the past. To hide them's no good to you now, only the brave will last. But look to the stars and they'll show you how to rise from the ash. Yeah, rise up and start singing, rise up and keep singing. Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up, singing. Thank you so much for listening.
Good. Just beautiful, Robin Lee. It's been an honor and a privilege and just a real treat to have you come and visit us here and play for us all the way from Chicago. Thank you so much, Robin Lee.
Thank you again so much. I had a great time. Everybody be healthy, stay safe out there, and have a great week.
Here's the doorknob from that house where the mice thought they belonged. Everything we own could be purchased for a song. Here's the framed diploma from when you went back to school, while working 60 hours with a newborn baby too. Still life, still life, something an impressionist might do. When the winter winds are screaming, another bell comes due, I will rest here in the quiet of the still life with you. Here's a piece of drywall from the studio I built, corresponding bank account mostly filled with guilt. Here's a pile of records I always hoped would sell. I fill them up with stories only we can tell. Still life, still life, something an impressionist might do. When the winter winds are screaming, another bill comes due. I will rest here in the quiet of the still life with you. Things keep moving faster till it's hard to understand. Each day a new disaster in the news. We come to know at last an artist's steady hand and the palette of a masterwork in blues. Still life, still life, something an impressionist might do. When the winter winds are screaming, another bill comes due. I will rest here in the quiet of the still life with you. I will rest here in the quiet of the still life with you. Thank you. So in our week one, not the first show, which was the television special, but our first variety hour, we did novelty songs, and we had a particular guest, and his name is Dan Bracken from Mount Pleasant. And Dan is one of my very favorite songwriters and one of my very favorite people, too. He's just a great songwriter, and he gifted us with being on the show. And he's got this song he wrote about his rules about drinking coffee. And, of course, that called for me to write a scathing song making fun of Dan, and he gave me permission to sing it. So he's okay with it. Just in case you wondered if he's mad, I hope he's not. This is my song to my friend Dan Bracken. My friend Dan, coffee-loving man, knew his tastes are quite unique. New brews he's known to seek, no standard Arabica for my friend Dan. My friend Dan, world's biggest coffee fan. Don't expect him to adjust. You'll never earn his trust with inferior Robusta. Not from my friend Dan. Some folks in our society may struggle with sobriety, but for Dan of notoriety, the issue's more variety. My friend Dan, caffeine consuming man, whether pour through press or Turkish, Guatemalan, Kona Turkish. Get it wrong, he might seem jerkish. That's my friend Dan. He really is a purist. He'll judge you like a jurist. You should wear a balaclava if you're drinking day old Java. Yeah, for my friend Dan. Better Joe's always the plan. He'll let you know if you transgresso. If your aim is to impress, so no, no, no X in espresso. My friend Dan. If you find you're getting desperate, don't turn to office sludge for respite. You might get a good browbeating if he catches you reheating. Oh, my friend Dan, Sumatra loving man. His reputation's beyond saving, 'cause he gives into his craving. That's right, I caught him microwaving. My friend Dan. Oh, caught him microwaving. My friend Dan. That's for you, Dan. So, it is time for the very special segment that we love the most, Joke of the Week. Joke of the Week. So, you know, it's good to get a good gig. And it's really hard right now. None of us have gigs because we have to stay home. But it's good when you find a really good gig. And this magician, he got a gig on a cruise ship. Best gig, you know. He got free room and board. He only had to do one show a day. Best gig ever. And perfect gig, really. And then he found out every day different set of passengers. So, you know, it was great because he didn't even have to rehearse, learn new material. He'd just go to a show. It was all good except for one thing. Because, of course, in life there's always one thing. And the one thing was the captain owns a parrot. And the parrot was in the room for every show. And after a while, the parrot began to figure out the tricks. And he would yell stuff out in the middle of the show like, "Oh, the cards in the deck are jacks. There's 2 hats. The flowers are under the table." Well, how was he supposed to operate under these conditions? It was awful. He hated the parrot. He wanted to strangle the thing. But, of course, it was the captain's parrot. So what are you going to do? But then one day, fate took a hand, and the ship was in a terrible wreck, and it sank. And he found himself adrift alone on the surface of the ocean with no one for company except, of course, the parrot. That's right. And they hated each other. They glared at each other with looks of disdain, and neither one would give in. Neither one was willing to speak a word, and the whole first day went by without a word being spoken. Second day, same thing. The whole day went by, and no one would break the silence and say a word. And then, partway through the third day, the parrot looked at the magician, and he said, "Okay, I give up. What did you do with the ship?" I thought that was one of my favorites. It was one of my favorites. Sees her, she sees him, she sees him. How does it go? He sees her high up on the hills. No, she wanders all alone. That's it. By the green and ginger sea, she is wilder than the tide, rising dangerous and free. He goes stumbling over phrases his tongue's forgotten how to say. If only she would see him, she'd surely know he feels this way. He tells it to the unrequited sea, unknowable and deep. He whispers to the moonlight when the world is fast asleep. His heart flutters like a sparrow trapped beneath a tender hand. He keeps sending little signals, he's hoping she will understand. He keeps sending little signals, he's hoping she will understand. Oh, love, foolish love, it takes a wild and reckless heart. Every time you think you've got it tamed, here comes a tempest bound to start. Oh, love, dangerous love, needs the courage of a saint. No one living knows what love is, but we all know what it ain't. On the hillside, in the alabaster wind, he is shining like a lighthouse on which all her hopes are pinned. His wandering gaze in her direction is like a stallion Hazlett bay. If only she could hear the words he hesitates to say. She tells her friends from college, goes up to strangers on the street. She tells the checkout girl at Rexall, she's telling everyone she meets. She is high up in the branches, perching out there on a limb. If no one's taking chances, no one's ever gonna win. No one's taking chances, no one's ever gonna win. Oh, love, foolish love, takes a wild and reckless heart. Every time you think you've got it tamed, here comes a tempest bound to start. Oh, love, dangerous love, needs the courage of a saint. No one living knows what love is, but we all know what it ain't. He tells it to the unrequited sea, unknowable and deep. He whispers to the moonlight when the world is fast asleep. He ought to join her in the branches, perching out there on that limb. If no one's taking chances, no one's ever gonna win. If no one's taking chances, no one's ever gonna win. Thank you, and now we'll be right back right after this. So, it's my belief that perhaps the most beautiful word in the English language to be sung is the word home. It's got such a beautiful sound to it, and it's so evocative. I know you guys are sick of being stuck at home after all this time, and you want to get out and about, but you know, there's nothing more beautiful than going back home. It don't look like much. Billy's Bar and Grill, Stella's Stop and Pub, where the semis fill. Just a truck stop town off the interstate, but I'm headed there, always running late. And the moon comes up as the night rolls right on down, like a welcome sign over my hometown. Man, I could not wait to get out of here, make a clean escape like the coast was clear. But these days I find when I'm bound to roam that my favorite road always leads back home. And the moon comes up as the night rolls right on down, like a welcome sign over my hometown. Wherever you're from, write a name on your heart, so wherever you go, you will always be tied to the place you got your start. And the moon comes up as the night rolls right on down, like a welcome sign over my hometown, like a big bright welcome sign over my hometown. Why, thanks. So now we come to the most important song of all. That's right, the last one. But I want to take a moment to thank everyone. Thank you, Robin Lee Garber, for being our guest. You are so wonderful. Thank you so much. Come and visit. And thank you to my beautiful wife, Margaret, who has helped so much with this show. And the producer, the person who did all the work behind the scenes to make it work, my daughter, Grace. Thank you, Grace. Let's all applaud Grace. Yay, Grace. She's laughing now. That's right. She's a little embarrassed. And most of all, thank all of you for tuning in all these times and coming into our home and being part of this It's meant a great deal to all of us, and especially to me, to have you come and watch our shows. This has been very beautiful and very special. When the very first show, we did, I talked about the two viruses that are going around. You may remember all the way back 9 shows ago. And the first one is the one we're all familiar with. We hear about the darn thing every day, and it's not going away. And so far, there's no cure. But the other one's even worse, and it's been going around even longer. And it is the virus of hate and anger and fear and doubt. And it is spread differently. It is spread through gossip and innuendo and misinformation and outright lies. And there's a cure. That's the good news. And there's a cure in abundance. We have more than we can ever use. So you can't benefit by hanging on to the cure. And the cure is the daily and liberal application of love. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much. This is our final show, and it's been a joy to do this for you. I hope you've gained some sort of comfort or entertainment. I'm supposed to tell you that we have archived all the past shows on YouTube channel, and my YouTube channel, and you can go there. It's got its own separate playlist, and anytime you want to go back and review these shows, there they are. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll see you in person, live down the road, not too far in the future. You can drive real fast, but you cannot last. The panic in your eyes, racing like a wild-eyed pony who bolts at each surprise. You can run in fear every time you hear the pounding of your own heart. But each new flight of fancy lands you right back where you start. Suddenly the pavement shifts beneath your wheels. You're frightened by the ruts, higher suspension feels. You flinch and swerve the steering wheel when any tire squeals. Someone leaves their brights on, and it all gets way too real. Have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith. Have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith. It's a long, long haul where you might stall. Home is miles from here when every curve's a question mark. Nothing's ever clear when left and right are not black and white, and you can't tell how to choose. I know you'll find your way, 'cause maybe I believe in you. I won't always be there when life turns on a dime. I wish that I could pick you up every blessed time. For every anguished question, an answer will arrive. You gotta climb back in behind the wheel, trust yourself to drive. faith in good. Have a little faith in you. Have a little faith that things will turn out like they should. There are saints on the highway, angels of the road. They are reaching out to guide you. They will help you with your load. And if the planets are in their orbits, if the stars are in their skies, maybe God is in his heaven, maybe we just can't know why. Have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith. Sometimes a little faith is all it takes. Thank you. See you next year sometime.